Like, oh, Will Smith's going to be on set today. And I was like, what is this for? Like, I don't even know. I'm just here to make some cash. And she was like, it's Aladdin.
My foot got run over by a truck and didn't have one single broken bone. My car got searched for drugs by the police. I bumped into Cardi B inside a Starbucks when I was in New York in March. And she paid for my drink because she said she liked my London accent.
I just think it's really important for women to have role models. Like, I'm curious to see, like, what does it take to man up? Like, what is this? It was like the worst sex education one class we had. Do you actually care what people think?
Now, no, not so much. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cilia Li Show. It's your girl Cilia Li here. And today I've got a friend who I met not long ago actually. The way we met is actually really interesting. So we met this year, isn't it? Oh yeah, this year, March, in out of all the places in America, Austin, Texas, at an event called Awaken. And I remember you came up to me, hey, excuse me, are you the one from London? And I was like, yes, like that. And then after we started talking, and then added you on Instagram, it turns out that we have a mutual friend.
Do we? Oh yeah,
Donovan.
Donovan.
Yeah. It was so mad. Like, of all the places, we meet in America. And you know what? You're actually not the first person that I met at Awaken that's from the UK as well. And it turns, well, she's actually from Sweden, but she has a business in the UK.
Yeah.
And it turns out that she knows my cousin in Sweden.
No way.
Yeah. Such a small world, yeah. But anyway, so I started talking. I didn't introduce you. Martha, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, Martha, tell us what you do.
So my name is Martha Lucia, and I'm the founder of Woman Up, which is my baby right now. Okay. And I call her my baby because she is a baby.
Yeah, same.
My brand, my company, women's community.
Yeah.
All about female empowerment. So I guess that's why me and you clicked.
Yeah, 100%. I have a tradition where I ask people, what does self-love mean to you?
So this is one of the questions that I didn't pre-plan because I felt like it's such a journey, this question for me. Yeah. I feel like self-love, I used to think it sounds really like self-indulgent, and it's like a little bit selfish.
Okay.
But my opinion has completely changed. Like, the older I get, the more I realize self-love means putting your health and wellness, your mindset, everything about you first. Yeah. And making that a priority. Because if I'm not at my best, I can't give to anyone else. Yeah. Yeah. So self-love means to me, make yourself a priority. Yeah. Make your best version your priority. Yeah. And everything else will follow.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I said to someone the other day, I actually said that, you know how they always say, for example, like plane, example, they said help yourself first before helping other, mask, the mask, the oxygen mask on other people. Because like basically in real life, basically you always want to show up yourself as the best version of yourself for other people, and to do that you have to look after yourself first. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll do like a little icebreaker. I've never done it before, and I thought I'd do it with you. And it's that game. What's it called? 2 truths and 1 lie. So shall I start?
Yeah.
The trick to this one is you have to say it with a straight face, with all of them. So okay. So number 1, my foot got run over by a truck and didn't have one single broken bone. Number 2, my car got searched for drugs by the police. Number 3, I bumped into Cardi B inside a Starbucks when I was in New York in March, and she paid for my drink because she said she liked my London accent.
No way. I'm so gullible that I just believe everything. What was the first one again?
My foot got run over by a truck and I didn't have a single broken bone.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Cardi B one.
Why is that?
I don't know why. It's just my intuition's telling me. I don't know. I just can't imagine her paying for your stuff.
Well, why not? Because she's rich, though.
I know, but I don't know. I just don't see her like that.
Okay.
Like, I feel like she might have complimented your accent, but I don't know. Like, paying for your stuff, I don't know. I can't picture it.
What, so you think my car got searched for drugs then?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Do I give off that vibe?
I just think, no, I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because in London, that's quite common.
Okay.
And I have like a lot of friends that have like been pulled over and et cetera, so I don't find that one hard to believe.
Oh, okay then. Well, you're right.
Yay!
Okay, your turn.
I want to talk about the other one.
Okay, go on, which one? Oh, the truck one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so basically, this is last year, August, I went to Carnival and was in the float. And I was dancing. Have you seen what a float looks like, innit? And I was dancing next to the truck with another girl, and she was whining on me. Next thing, I felt something like pulling my foot. And I was like, what's going on? So I tried to pull it back, and it was proper pulling me. So I looked down, and I watched my foot, the truck go over my foot.
Oh my God.
Like proper slow, like in slow motion, obviously because it was going really slow. And I was just like in shock. I was just watching it, and the first thing that came to my head was like, oh my God, is my foot going to be flat as a pancake when I take my shoes off? I didn't even think whether it was going to be, whether it was broken or not. I was just thinking, oh my God, it's going to be flat. Yeah. But anyway, I continued. I didn't leave. I stayed there for another 6 hours because I was thinking, I'm not letting it ruin my day. I'm going to continue this carnival, because it was only, we just started. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so then it didn't hurt.
Oh, that's weird.
Like it didn't hurt. Like it was just shocked. I felt the pressure, but it didn't hurt. I think it's sort of adrenaline anyway. But when on my way home, and then it started to proper swell up, starting to hurt. And the next day I went to A&E, and then they did an X-ray, and they said that no broken bone. And the doctor said basically because the truck went so slow over it, it didn't damage anything. But it was obviously, if it was going fast, it would have made some like really bad damage. But he said that basically our foot is actually really strong. It actually spreads, like, you know how, like, if you know, I don't know, but anyway,
like when you're making pizza or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but anyways, basically it's stronger than we think it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the story. And 2 weeks later, I was wearing heels.
No way.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, were you in flats?
Yeah, I was on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing trainers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like mine are kind of rubbish now. Okay, so one is, I once worked with Will Smith on a film set. I used to have a crush on Simon Cowell, and when I was a child, I wanted to be a pilot.
Ooh. I'm actually also very gullible. You had a crush on Simon Cowell?
Yeah, that's the lie.
Yeah. I can't imagine that.
I should have picked someone else.
Tell me about a Will Smith.
So I was an extra on Aladdin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like when I was at uni, I was signed up to this agency where you get work as an extra.
Is it Universal Extra?
No, it's Casting Collective.
Oh, okay.
It's actually not called extra anymore. It's like supporting artist or
okay.
something. But
I don't think, the word extra exists anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like PC or whatever. Yeah. But so I was signed up since uni because that was like something I used to do in my spare time and whatever. And then when I quit my job, I was like, I'm just going to sign up for loads of things so that I can just make some extra cash here and there. Yeah. And then I got called up for Aladdin, and it's funny because I didn't know it was for Aladdin because they use code names. So then on this day that I went to work, I went the second day of filming, and then one of the girls was like in the canteen and she was talking whatever, she said something about Will Smith, and I was like, sorry, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh, Will Smith's going to be on set today. And I was like, what is this for? Like, I don't even know, I'm just here to make some cash. And she was like, it's Aladdin. And in that moment I was like, oh my God, because I was such a Disney princess when I was a kid, it was just like, I can't believe this has happened.
So did you get to talk to him or?
Yeah, I was like in a scene with him. There's a scene where I'm standing behind him in like the party scene.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Jasmine and Aladdin like meet and dance together and whatever. So for like days we were on set with Will Smith, and it's just like one of my most treasured like experiences because he's like on another level in terms of energy. Like the energy he brings, you can feel it even though you might not be able to see him. You know he's in the room. Oh wow. And I've never experienced or met anyone like that before. So yeah.
Was he nice? Was a nice guy?
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like always bubbly, always happy, always makes time, because you're not really supposed to talk to like the A-listers because you're there professionally.
Yeah.
But he would always
talk to you,
be the one who initiates it. And like, especially when there were like kids on set, he would play with them. It wasn't like he was like, look, don't talk to me.
Right,
These are the rules kind of thing. Like he's very open.
Yeah.
And it was just like amazing to see someone like that behave.
Talk about Women Up. Why did you come up with Women Up? How did it start?
So I always knew that I wanted to do something, my own business, my own brand.
Yeah.
And really, I think it was during a time where I felt like I had to woman up. And I actually read this book at the time called Man Up.
Okay.
I don't know why I read it. And my boyfriend at the time, he bought it and had finished it. And I was like, I'm curious to see like what does it take to man up? Like, what is this? So I read it just out of curiosity. But basically, it was just about like daily habits that the author was saying men should have to become, you know, what's the word? Like divine masculine. Basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then after reading it, I was like, I actually found that really helpful. So what does it take for like a woman to woman up?
Yeah.
And then that just sparked like my thinking. And I just felt like I was in a place where I needed to work on myself. I needed to take steps and like make changes to my daily habits. And me going through that journey is relatable. And so I thought, well, if I'm going through the journey, there are other women that also are going through this journey as well. So why not make something out of it?
What journey was you going?
For me, it was just a journey of if I want to become successful or whatever it is that your goals are, I have to become a different person. Because if I want these things and I don't have them yet, it means there's something I'm not doing. Yeah. And so I think as a woman especially, we're constantly evolving and constantly learning, constantly growing. Also that like growing up, I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I feel like a lot of the time I still don't. Yeah. And I don't have any like older sisters or anything like that. So sometimes I feel like I really wish I had an older sister to like talk me through that scenario, or like I would have, looking back, I maybe would have done things differently. And I think that all the time. So I just think it's really important for women to have role models, support systems, even just friends that they can say, look, I'm in this situation. I don't really know what to do. Can you help me?
Yeah. The sisterhood.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. When did you start Women Up?
I mean, the idea came to me probably about 2 years ago. Okay. And I've just been like non-consistently doing random stuff. Yeah. So now I'm at a point where it's now or never. Like I have to just go hard or forget about it and just get a job and be quiet.
So then you basically left a well-paid job to pursue your dream. Basically like what I did, basically. Was it scary?
Yeah, because I didn't know how, like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to monetize it. There's still areas where I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Yes.
But
to be honest, same with me. Even till now, as much as I know my main goal is to empower women. I know I want to teach them about self-love. I know I want to help women become the best version of themselves. But I'm still, my path is still a bit like blurry at some parts of it. Like I know like this podcast is my baby. I know this is my vehicle to get to where I want to be. But like at one point I wanted to be a self-love coach for women. Now I'm like, actually, I don't want to do coaching really. Yeah. But I know I want to do events. But yeah, so I feel like I'm still figuring it out. I don't know. I wonder if that is the journey.
That is the journey. Yeah. And I think the reason why I procrastinated for so long is because I thought to myself, who am I to build a brand telling women how to better themselves when I still feel like a mess a lot of the time? Yeah. But then now I'm realizing that, you know what, it's okay to be a mess. Just show that.
Yeah, be you.
Just be yourself.
Be vulnerable, yeah.
And like whenever I open up on social media, people message me all the time being like, I really love your content because it's just real. And like
relatable.
Yeah, like a lot of the times, like even just little things that aren't really that important, but like I get breakouts specifically like on my period, and I'm always just like, hey guys, I don't have makeup on today, but it's okay, like this is me. And then I just carry on talking, and people are just like, I really appreciate that you've done that and you haven't just slapped on a filter. So I think that's what we need. Like, let's just be real with each other, and it's okay to be struggling. Like, we can help that.
Because today it's everything's so superficial now, isn't it? Like you said, filter everything. Someone just can easily just put a filter on. Just, I think the realness, the authenticity is no longer there anymore. That's why people can relate.
Even like really big celebrities. So I follow Maya Jama, and I've followed her for a while. And the reason I follow her is because she, I think, is her authentic self. Like when she's a presenter, and she's professional and she does the job really well. When she's a model, she behaves like a model and she looks beautiful, etc., etc. But when she's on her stories and she's just on the beach with a cocktail, sometimes she like sings or raps to the camera or whatever. That's just her. That's who she is. And she's not afraid to just be silly and just be herself sometimes. And I like that. Like there's different versions of her. And that's okay. Like she doesn't always have to be this like pristine, always composed presenter. Like there's something behind that. She is a person, first off. She's a woman, first off. And it's okay to show that. So that's kind of like what I want to become as well. Is just... although I want to build this brand, I'm also just a vulnerable woman at points. And I mean, that's okay.
I mean, everyone's vulnerable, isn't it? But just depending if they feel safe, comfortable to share it. When did you discover self-love, and what started it?
I don't know. I don't know when, if there's like a specific moment in my life, but I think what I've come to realize more recently is that I tend to put other people's worth above my own, or like other people's well-being. Specifically in relationships. And I've done that consistently since I was in my first relationship. And so for me, every time I get into a relationship or get out of a relationship, that's the one lesson that I'm never learning. And it's like, how many times are you going to go through the same cycle? You know, they say like the universe will just bring you back to the same thing until you've learned the lesson. And I think that's what it is. And I've only recently started to put boundaries in place for specific people in my life. Cut off some people completely, but like for people that I can't cut off for whatever reason, those boundaries are now being starting to be put in place.
Well, first of all, my self-love journey didn't start until 2020. But before that, I just thought self-love was getting pampered, going spa, like you said, indulge in nice food, eat well, eat yummy food to make yourself feel happy. And like what you know about it now, like you said, what you know about it now is different from what you know like last year or even yesterday. Like, because there's always going to be a situation coming up, and then you be like, situation that test your self-love, test your boundaries. I'll be like, oh, actually, I still got this. I still need to work on this. I still need to work on that, like that. And then similarly, like recently, for example, I was thinking to myself, why do I still attract guys that are emotionally unavailable? And I'm like, there's just something about me. And I told this lady, and this lady was like to me, maybe it's something that you need to learn. Like, why are you so accessible to people that are emotionally unavailable? And I was like, said to myself the other day, I need to rewrite my non-negotiables. What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
I asked myself that the other day. Mine is actually don't get into a relationship until you're like...
When did you have 30. Your first boyfriend? When did you have your first boyfriend?
I was 16.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I was going on 16, so I was 15.
You know when people say that they're in a relationship at the age of 13? I don't understand it. Because now I'm looking at the younger generation now. When they're 13, they look like babies. And I'm like... Oh yeah, I don't understand. Or some people are saying that I've been with my wife or my husband since we were 14. I mean, beautiful, but I just don't get it. You know, like how? Like you're a baby. Because I remember I had my first little boyfriend when I was 14. It lasted 2 weeks.
Oh,
and literally we just held hands, went to cinema. That's it.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, no, I agree though. Don't get into a relationship until a certain age. I wouldn't say 30 though.
No, I was exaggerating.
Yeah, because you need experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll definitely say don't go in a relationship if you go uni. Because when I went uni, I had a boyfriend. I missed out on uni life.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know, a relationship takes so much out of you. And I think it can work for some people. I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
But I think for me personally, I feel like that was a mistake for me. Because once I'm in a relationship, I'm like all in.
Yeah, same.
And I'm very loyal, and I will like hold on like through the hard times, through red flags, through everything.
Oh, same, yeah.
Because of this like fear of failure, or like feeling like I failed the relationship.
Yeah, or my parents be like, I told you so, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, maybe just don't get into a relationship. Just figure out who you are. Like travel, learn new things, meet people, learn about culture. Like there's so many other things you can do when you have that freedom.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main things for me that I would tell my 16-year-old self.
I would tell myself that just be your true self. Don't worry about what other people think. Because I
was going to say that as the next one.
Yeah, I used to really care. I think you know what, everyone went through that stage where they really cared about what people think and insecurity. Because I think at that age, you're still finding your identity. I was struggling with my identity, to be honest with you. Trying to put a front on, you know, especially also like experiencing racism at school, really trying to like, it was character building, trying to like protect myself from these like racist comments or things being picked on and things like that. And well, when I say picked on, not that I got bullied or beaten up or anything, but yeah, just really trying to, I wasn't embracing my culture back then because they were being racist. So I was like, kind of not hated being Chinese, but I just like don't really want to talk about it. So I would definitely say don't worry about what people think and be you. Like embrace who you are, embrace your culture, be proud of where you come from. You're never too cool for anything.
Yeah, I had growing up, a lot of people say, oh, you think you're too nice. And it's like, I actually really don't. Like it was the complete opposite inside. So and then I let that get to me so much because it was like I was constantly trying to make people think that I just wanted them to like me and I just wanted to be liked. And then it ended up being that I just didn't speak a lot of the time because I was scared of saying the wrong thing. Yeah. But then people were like, she's stuck up because she doesn't want to talk to us. And it's like, no, I'm just so scared of saying the wrong thing that now I'm just super, super shy. Do you have a resting bitch face?
Yeah. Okay, that's probably why then.
Yeah. The one I was going to say is, do you actually care what people think?
Now? No, not so much.
But then how do you deal with it? So like if you get a negative comment or someone insults you or whatever.
So when I say not so much, what I mean by is, for example, like as much as I might say I don't really care what people think, but there's always one bit of me, I know like slightest bit is I care what my parents think. Because I think we will probably want approval from my parents. Although that being said, sometimes I still don't really care, but I think I just want to be seen by my parents because they don't really support. They're not, well, I mean, they do support me, but at the same time, they don't really believe in my vision 100%. Yeah. So they're just thinking, what the hell are you doing? Like, just get a job. But when they say certain things to me, it does trigger me a little bit. But at the same time, I'm just like, and then I would just bounce back and be like, you know what? Don't worry about what they're saying. Just keep doing what you need to do. What's the other question?
How do you deal with criticism?
I'll consider everything, but if it doesn't make sense to me, then I won't take it. But it also depends who's telling me. If that person haven't even sort themselves out, they're not really, for example, some guy telling me all of this, oh, you need to do this and that, and basically coming across like a YouTube guru or something. Does he have a YouTube channel? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Then I just be like, okay, thank you, like that. And I'll just be like, and get on with my day and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Do you think there's a line or like a boundary between self-love and then just being like selfish?
Yeah. I know some people might say, someone said to me before, too much self-love is selfish. And I think as long as you're not harming someone, then it's not selfish. For example, like relationship. Let's use relationship as an example.
Yeah.
You both are not happy. You both are, it's just not working out. But you both know you're only staying there for convenience or whatever because you're attached. Then you have to leave because you love yourself, because you got to honor yourself. But some people might think, oh, you're being selfish because you're not fighting for it because you're going to hurt that person.
I think I understand why people say that, but then I think it goes back to like what your definition of self-love is. Because for me, self-love isn't being like, well, whatever, this is what I think and I don't care what you think.
That's like, arrogance.
That's not. Yeah. I think self-love means tomorrow I'm going to wake up and go to the gym because my health is important.
Yeah.
And if I want to have children one day, my health needs to be a priority. I can't support my kids if I put everything they need first and then get sick. It doesn't make sense. So there's a balance between loving yourself and making the right choices for yourself, which will then impact in a positive way the people around you. And
then, yes, like a lot of parents, they put their kids first, which I understand, and it's become so normal. But I think, you're a mother, of course you're going to put your kids first. If you love yourself, you showing your kids that you actually put yourself first, loving yourself, you actually also set a good example for your kids that this 100%. Is how to love yourself, and also showing them that you need to respect mummy, because this is what self-love is, because I love myself. Because if you don't love yourself, other people, how are they going to know how to love you? I shouldn't even say that. Some people do know how to love people even though you don't love yourself, but you need to teach them what you accept and what you won't accept.
Also, the boundaries thing comes back up.
Exactly.
Because if you're not teaching your kids about boundaries, they then won't learn how to set their own boundaries and become doormats. Yeah,
exactly. That as well, but also how they respect you. They need to know that, okay, mummy won't allow this. Because whether it's kids or partner or friends, it's always down to us to show people, teach them what we will allow and won't allow.
So who do you think you need to become to reach like the Cilia Li Show, this big vision that you have, for that to happen?
I like this question. It's got me thinking, who do I need to become? Someone that, I want to say someone who's got the shit figured out, but there's always going to be something.
There's always
something in it. Yeah, that comes about manifestation, isn't it? Like you got. If you want to be that person, you got to act like that person, be that person. Person
looks like, feels like, smells like.
Yeah. I know I want to be a millionaire. I know I want to be flying first class.
Yeah.
I want to be able to work anywhere I want in the world. I definitely want to have mastered my financial management.
Okay.
Because I'm very bad at that. Have worked on my boundaries will have to be on point. That's something I had to go back and think about. Yeah, I like that. What about you?
I need to become the type of woman that other women look up to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And in order to become that, I think it takes boundary setting.
Yeah.
Just consistent growth. Just don't stop.
Yeah.
Like, I know that this is my calling, and that is like 100% in my heart. I can feel it. But the how is still a bit grey. Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, like I always said, like, we don't need to know about the how. It's none of our business.
Yeah.
Let the universe do its job. But I just thought of something. I want to be able to be a good example of what it's like to be in my divine feminine, like fully in being my feminine. I mean, we all have both. I think I just need to learn how to balance it more and how to be more like, I always said, awaken the goddess, inner goddess.
I feel like, I haven't known you that long, but I feel like you're doing that, just even from like what I've seen of you.
Oh, thanks. I love that. So, talking about that, when you first met me, what did you think of me? Actually, when I stood up talking, what did you think?
To be honest, when you stood up, I couldn't really like hear what you were saying.
Okay.
I just heard Danny say that you were from the UK.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, I need to make friends with her.
Yeah.
So I think the first time I fully like spoke to you and like saw you was during the integration circle.
Okay, yeah,
And at that point, I thought you seemed like really confident, and you seemed like someone that I could just be myself with. And that is like, I don't, maybe because you haven't known me that long, but that's a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm very guarded.
Okay.
So it's very rare for me to meet someone that just off the bat, I'm like, oh, I'm relaxed.
Oh, I'm glad.
Like I feel like there's no judgment whenever I speak to you, and that's like a really good trait.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't judge people. I just accept for who they are, and because I think everyone, even if you've made a mistake, whatever you're doing, I don't agree with it. Like, as in, it's not something I would do. I just think it's your journey.
Yeah.
When I first met you, I was so surprised when you came up to me. You was like, oh, "Excuse me, like you from London?" Like, I was like, "Yeah." Like, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and I remember you coming to my circle, we're talking. I thought you was kind of shy.
Okay, yeah, I am really shy.
Yeah, you're really shy. And then at the pool, I kind of. Oh, by the way, when I was on the roof, I was chilling at a rooftop pool, and at lunchtime, when you went to get your lunch, you came back. I don't know if I said it to you at the time, but I did feel kind of rude. I was like, I'm just chilling. Like, I am listening. I don't want to be rude. Because basically, I was trying to make the most of the sun. I was just here. And then you was here.
I was really jealous that I didn't have a bikini or anything.
And I was just like, but I didn't want to make come across rude. Like I am like listening. But I'm just trying to sunbathe. Just you can still talk to me like that. Yeah.
No, I didn't think that.
Okay.
No, I get it fully. But at any point, did you think that I was like stush or
no?
Yeah, because I get that long.
Oh, since we met in a spiritual event. What is spirituality to you?
Oh my God. I don't know. I think spirituality is your connection with the unknown, if that makes sense. And that includes like nature. Yeah. Just like everything about like the earth. The wind, like it sounds really elements, like weird, but like Pocahontas, where she's like really in tune.
The elements,
the elements, but I also think things like your intuition and being really in tune with your intuition, and trusting it, So I think spirituality is a hard one for me because I grew up Christian. And I was baptized, did my communion, everything like that. But I really struggled to connect with like the church. Same.
I was a Catholic.
Yeah, it's weird because I've always felt like I was spiritual, and I pray, and I've always prayed.
Yeah.
And I always talk to like something.
Yeah.
I'm always like, please give me strength, etc., etc. And growing up, sometimes I thought, is that just because I've been conditioned to think that? Or do I genuinely feel like there is something or someone listening? And I do think that is in me.
So when did you become more spiritual?
I think in my 20s was when I considered myself more of a spiritual person than a religious person. Like I stopped going to church when I was like 16. My mum was like, you have to come to church until you're 16 and then you can make your own decision. So it was like as soon as I turned 16 I was like, I'm out now.
I hated going to church. I used to sulk when my parents made me go to church. I used to just sit there and sulk. I used to be like this, like that, and refuse to listen. And then at the end, they would like chill with other people or sort of socialize. My mum would be like, socialize with other people. I was like, no, I don't want to talk to nobody. Like I was literally so like proper like stush and just there, and people be like, "Is your daughter okay?" Yeah, she's fine. Like that,
I also felt like I couldn't really ask questions, or when I did ask questions, like the priest wouldn't really have answers that made sense to me.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is not the priest, but this is in primary school. So when we did the Bible studies, right? The teacher was, I can't remember what verse it was, but anyway, she goes, "Have anyone got any questions?" I put my hand up, and I said, "So where did the dinosaurs come in the Bible?"
Oh no.
And I was in year 6 then.
Yeah.
Everyone in the class laughed at me. They was like, "Celia, oh my God, dinosaurs, really? You actually believe in dinosaurs?" And I'm just like, what are you talking about? There's on TV, they're talking about they found like bones and everything. So I don't know, like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And then they all just looked at him, and then the teacher just went silent. And she was like, "Okay, let me just read you this verse." I just read the verse, and I just went, and she's like, "Does that answer your question?" I was like, Yeah. But I didn't understand.
You didn't understand.
Yeah. But I don't think she knew how to answer. She just came up with a normal verse, like saying like, just to shut me up, something like that.
Yeah. I went to an all-girls Catholic secondary school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
Catholic girls' school, that must be strict.
Yeah. So for us, like, sex education as well was like really weird, because it was like no sex before marriage, but the government kind of says we have to teach you sex education. Yeah. So it was like really conflicting, because I was like, why are we learning about this? Like, this is bad. Like, and it was like the worst sex education one class we had, and it was just awful.
What did you learn about?
Just like they had a banana, and it was like how to put the condom on the banana or whatever. Yeah. Considering for me, like even talking about like a penis or whatever was like horrific. Yeah. Because I was just like, oh my God, like what is happening?
It was like porno, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just remember thinking, like, I was really embarrassed, because I was like, why would I ever be doing this? Like, why do I need to learn about this? Yeah. And it was almost like this shame around like sex. Yeah. So if you're shaming me on one side and then trying to teach me on another side, like there's just so much confusion in my head, like as a young girl. Also now, like as an adult, I think talking about sex is like super important. So there are so many things from my childhood that I'm just like, you need to put that to one side.
Are you awkward when you talk about sex to people?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I think I'm quite open with it, but it's not something that I would just spark up with like a random person. Okay. It's just if someone came to me and was like, hey, I'm having this problem. Yeah. Can I talk to you about it? Then I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know how we got to sex education.
Oh, because I was saying like...
Oh, you're Catholic school.
Religion was like a weird thing for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'll ask you what spirituality was to you, innit? Yeah.
But then even as a child, like I had experiences where I felt like I could feel like what I would describe as like spirits around me.
Okay, tell me.
Just like sometimes I would feel like on my shoulder that there was someone there, or like sometimes I would feel a hand on my shoulder, and I remember like having this discussion with my parents or like my brothers or whatever, and I felt kind of weird about it. Like was
it a good feeling or bad feeling?
Sometimes it was bad, and sometimes it was good. A lot of the time it was good. Yeah. It was like I felt like someone was guiding me through something. Right. Also, shortly after my granddad died, I felt that I could feel his presence around me for a while. After a period of time that went away. But I always felt like weird for talking about it, and I felt like people didn't really understand. Yeah. Or it would kind of be like brushed off with like logical explanations, like oh well, it might have just been the aircon or whatever. And it's like, well, please like just respect what I feel, because my intuition is telling me it's this. So there's loads of little things that I felt like those were spiritual experiences that I've had, but I feel like I do have like a strong intuition, and I ignore it a lot of the time.
For me, spirituality, I think everyone has to have different perception, because usually people think, oh, it's the crystals and the saging, like meditation, hippie stuff,
hippie behavior.
But for me, spirituality is accepting who I am, being at peace with who I am, and just being conscious. Being conscious, being self-aware is spirituality for me.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is like to be respectful of other people,
because there are some spiritual people who are actually very judgy.
Yeah, like a hypocrite, basically.
Yeah, hypocrite. Yeah.
Because I think like if I think of like a really spiritual person, I just think of like peace and love.
Yeah.
So you can't be like peace and love and
have anger and
be like really angry to other people because they eat meat or whatever. Like,
that's another thing with religion. Like, reason why I didn't really get into religion, because back in school, they were taught, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus. And I was thinking, oh my God. And I feel like, well, why? And then, and then you've got saying you're not allowed to worship other God, but the only one God. And I'm thinking, but why does it seem like a competition? I always felt like it was like a competition. It was like bribing you. It was like, it didn't make sense to me. It's like I didn't feel no love. Anyway, I need better wrap up here.
Well, come to our event.
So the event that we're going to do is on 28th of October at the Prana Space. It's called the Women's Self-Discovery Workshop. I'm going to be doing some confidence boosting activities, so like doing that, teaching you about the dancer walk and some sensual movements. So basically, I want women to feel comfortable and finding and embracing their sensuality and tapping into the femininity. And I do believe once you are comfortable with your sensuality, that's where the confidence come. And Martha, you're going to be doing...
I'm going to be doing some self-love sessions. So it's more... So I think yours is more like physical up stuff.
Yeah.
And mine is more like mindful. So journaling, activities that are going to help with really looking inside yourself to what you need to do to increase that confidence and make yourself a priority.
So please come join us.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited.
Me too. I'm excited about it as well, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for tuning in and watching and listening, whatever you're doing. Just remember, please hit the subscribe button. And yeah, until next time. Love you lots.
Bye.